What was that juicy hometown/high school rumor that turned out to be true? NSFW. That the biology teacher hated the principal so much that he repeatedly set the class tarantula loose to sway her away from visiting his part of the school. That the girl in my class had a sister a year older who had been locked in a closet since she was 5 years old. Turned out to be true, and mom and dad went to prison. The girl was mentally handicapped and they just decided to lock her in the closet and only let her out to clean out the closet. She ate in there and defecated in a bucket. The super smart girl who got into all the top schools was so depressed at an Ivy League because she was no longer the smartest person and had to drop out after one semester. It was a big deal because she scored an almost perfect SAT score and was the first in our high school to go there. There was a rumor that our app economics teacher was having an affair with our married app US history teacher. Rumor only grew steam when she filed for divorce just before graduation. 2 years after I graduated, my friend who worked at a daycare texted me a picture of the two of them dropping off her two kids. Male history teacher was having sex with, fooling around with, and videotaping female students that were below legal age. He's in jail now. Wrestling coach owned a funeral home. A kid did an internship there and said the coach was selling body parts. Nobody believed him. Well, the coach is now in jail for selling organs and a shootload more things. Good old North Catholic edit. Yes, I'm talking about Northeast Catholic in Philadelphia. As far as the kid doing the internship, I should have called it an apprenticeship. I know he wanted to be a mortician. From what I recall, he washed the cars and drove the limo, and after graduation he was going to get involved with the actual procedures. There were rumors that a mystery kid was pooping in the janitor's closets. Everyone thought it was a stupid rumor until the principal made an announcement about it. They never caught the kid, but a few years later I found out who it was. It turned out to be a friend of mine. I wasn't shocked. This kid was strange. You could dare him to do anything, and he would do it. He once ate part of a dissected frog on a dare. Another time he almost chugged bleach, but the teacher stopped him. TL. Doctor, I was unknowingly friends with the mad pooper. Rumor was one of the girls at my high school had a mom who was a pronoun star. Turns out her mom is Misty Volage. That a 7th grader was bringing vodka in a water bottle and would drink it throughout the day. Yeah, turns out she brought 5 and got alcohol poisoning and had to be rushed to the hospital. Happened at my school, but it was the valedictorian and she had been injecting the alcohol into her morning orange. Edit. Wow, didn't expect that. She had been a good kid. Her dad got really sick and died after junior year. After that she wasn't the same. She kept her grades, but was a bit of a shell, a zombie, just going through the motions. Not many people knew about the orange thing, even after that fact. I found out because one of my parents worked in the office, and this girl's mom volunteered. People talk. Why wasn't I valedictorian? That's another story for another day. When my boyfriend was in high school, there was a sub there who was subbing while finishing college whose mom had been a teacher at the school for years. This girl eventually ends up freaking half the football team and has pictures of her tits going around. They let her resign instead of pressing charges. I'm assuming because of her mom being there for so long and because some of the students were of age. So a couple of weeks ago we hired a new attorney at the law firm I work for. It's her. When I was 13 years old, a girl and a boy from my class stopped going to school for some days. As silly kids as we were, we started joking that they were getting together to make babies and ended up missing the classes. The boy was just sick. The girl was actually pregnant. 18-year-old guy gets caught fingiblisting a 14-year-old in the upstairs hallway. For a whole 2 months or so no one was allowed upstairs during lunch. This happened last year, and this year all of the lockers and classes are moved downstairs. One of the popular jarhead/class clown types was accused of sexual assault on the bustest girl at the school for biting her left tit. That a freshman girl popped her cherry with the wide part of a shampoo bottle. She took pictures and sent said pictures to a group of guys in the sophomore class, telling them to keep it private. Everyone saw and she wound up transferring. People thought our vice principal was banging one of the security officers. Eventually we found out he left his wife and they started dating. So that was true. Another was that people suspected that our resource officer was a pothead. For anyone that doesn't know, our resource officer is an actual police officer with the city and not a regular security guard. Well, my buddy is a recovering drug addict. He apparently was selling weed to the officer back in high school. Not many people knew about that one though. There were rumors that the 40-year-old bank teacher was romantically involved with a female student. All parties denied it, and the administration bought it, and apparently chalked it up to bullshit rumors from gossipy kids. A year after she graduated, he left his wife and 2 kids and married her. Edit. One of the really odd things about this situation is that this student was smoking hot and really popular. She was our school's female track star, captain of the volleyball team and an honors student. The teacher was middle-aged, a little overweight and kind of an average-looking nerdy type. She seemed like the type that would have her pick of any guy she wanted. She was really sweet and made friends with everyone, though so I'm sure she saw something in him that others didn't. Edit 2. Wow. After reading the comments so far, I'm a little shocked to see that this isn't really as uncommon as I thought. This took place in the Hudson Valley region of New York. A beating of the Future Farmers of America Club at my high school turned into a massive oral sex orgy. It was just rumors for a while, until the administration confirmed it, and those involved were punished severely. Membership in FFA spiked though. That the vice principal was cheating on his terminally ill wife with the cheerleading coach. It was true and everyone knew. He got promoted to principal, moved his office to the conference room and the library. Conveniently and simultaneously, the cheerleading coach became the librarian. Barf. The head high school principal was screwing a cheerleader and her mom while his wife was pregnant. He was asked to resign. He left and became the superintendent of another county. Everyone was always talking about how the pre-calculus teacher and the algebra teacher were screwing around. They were both married, but students would see them smiling at each other, even kissing in the halls. Turns out they were married to each other. She just kept her maiden name. I didn't find out till a few years later, when I saw him on Facebook. I'm pretty sure they knew about the rumors, and specifically said nothing to dispel them for shoots and giggles. This has probably happened in a bunch of places. There was a gym teacher who was really invested in his students when we were in middle school. Middle school was kind of the phase where we never really knew who was out to get us, but most of us thought the gym teacher was. He was smiling an astonishing amount of the time, even when we were in the locker room getting undressed and dressed. Many of us found it unnerving and a bit creepy, and there were many rumors going around that he was gay and into younger boys. Well, it turns out that in my final year of middle school, he got sacked, even after years of teaching. And everyone knew why he was sacked. We were wrong, though, since there was a twist. He had been touching a female classmate inappropriately. Many of us thought he was going to be sacked for something like that, at least a little, but I don't think a single one of us thought it would be for touching a girl. He sure proved us wrong. School beauty pageant. Underdog big girl gets crowned. It was very after school special. However, it turned out that this happened. The winner's mom walked in on the judges saying that her daughter wasn't pageant material, freaked out and started crying, accused the judges of being size-iced, and somehow managed to convince them to crown her daughter anyway. The daughter found out and voluntarily gave back the crown to the runner-up, who was the actual winner. It was pretty humiliating for all involved. Coach having an affair with a student. He got fired and she transferred schools. 2 students having sex in the back of the school bus, resulting in boys having to sit on one side and girls on the other forever. 2 students having sex in the bathroom next to the gym. So many pregnancies. Like a disproportionate amount, based on our school size. Kid goes to jail for armed robbery for 30 days, but only does the weekends, because he comes from a good family. Co-salutatorians because the original salutatorian was caught cheating on an honors course and had the honors credit taken away. I went to a really small school, so it's funny that there are this many. My hometown had problems. Guy stopped coming to school. We jokingly declared he must be dead. We'd later find out that he actually was dead. that there was a GameCube with Super Smash in it hidden somewhere in the school along with a tiny TV and 4 controllers. One day at lunch my friend told me he found it, and I didn't believe him. I didn't even believe it existed, but I wanted it to be true, so I snuck out of lunch with him, and we went up through the theater, and up into the room, where they kept all the props for the plays, and sure enough, behind this big dusty couch there she was. It was like finding treasure except better. From that day on we ate our lunches there, and played Smash until our thumbs hurt. That was senior year of high school, and damn do I miss it. A guy in my year in secondary school high school time had sex in a McDonald's bathroom and stuck it up the wrong hole, causing the girl to bleed everywhere. It wasn't really much of a rumor since he confirmed it about 2 days after it went around the year that the theater kids would use the woman's bathroom in the theater to have sex. Turned out it was true when a teacher walked in on a couple going at it on the sink. They ended up locking the theater bathrooms during the day and only opened them for performances. It sucked because those bathrooms were nicer and quieter than the other ones. Rumor in my high school that a chick banged a teacher for an A turned out to be half true. He told her she would get an A or an F, depending on if she fricked him or not. He confessed some 30 years after the fact. The girl in question was a friend of mine's mom. Not a rumor, but a kid in one of my classes told me he was going to tour with his brothers for the summer and wasn't coming back to school next fall. I thought he was full of shoot and told him good luck sarcastically. Kings of Leon are a pretty popular band, I hear. That this one guy blew some old man for a PlayStation 1. The saddest part of this was that the PlayStation 2 had already been released. I still laugh about this whenever I think about it. The star basketball player was into younger girls. Let's be painfully explicit here. The guy was ripped. He was Shaq foot 10 and probably at least a head taller than anyone at our school. He was white, but tanned like a glazed onion. Girls would be all over him like moths to the sole street lamp in a dark neighborhood. Freshman and sophomore year he dated around, but junior and senior year he went exclusively for the freshmen. And as some of us noted, they were the younger looking fresh. Word got around that the guy was using steroids. Never proven and apparently tested, so possibly wrong, but some guys used to say he likes little girls because he has a little dick. I never really believed it. His last girlfriend in high school ended up being this Asian girl who went to Harvard for medicine or some shit, and he went off with his basketball scholarship to university. He was always cool, calm, and colleged, and he was just sweet. No way would he be messing around with younger girls. Then one of my friends called me from high school when we were around 25 and told me to look him up. Lo and behold, he had a pretty little mugshot. After distributing child pornography, the guy could have been drowning in pink, living in the puss. He could have been freaking Tom Brady's freaking wife. It's unbelievable to me, but it turned out to be true. When I was a sophomore in high school, our county sheriff was assassinated by a rifle shot from a considerable distance in the midst of election season. Rumors started flying that the guy who was running against him, a former deputy, had something to do with it, but it just seemed too sensational. Like something out of a movie. Sure enough, after a little time passes, it's confirmed that the deputy had a former Marine do the hit, and the town lost its shoot. Made national news, and I think even Randy came and did a TV show about it. If anyone is interested in reading about it, the sheriff's name was Sam Catron. Happened in 2002. A classmate of mine was absent with mono. I learned about a year later that she had actually been pregnant and her mom forced her to give up the kid. Oh, and the father was my older brother, and my entire family and the whole school knew except me. When I was a sophomore, there was a rumor that a teacher had went under the stairs in a hallway because she dropped something and caught a freshman blowing a senior. No one really believed it until we came back the next year and they had installed mirrors all around the stairs so you could see every angle.